Hello, welcome to another speedrun episode against the Duke of Cork, who plays a Scandinavian against us. We take the pawn. He takes back with the queen. We develop a knight. He gives us a check. Not a good move, as it helps us develop a piece. He now develops a piece, and we bring out our third minor piece towards the center. He brings out his second. His queen is hittable. You can attack it. But I think I just want a castle. My development looks great. I have a rook coming to e1, and black's position looks very bad because his queen is misplaced, blocking both of his bishops. He opts a knight in the center, but this can't be good, moving the same piece twice. Now we get to play the move we wanted, continue our development, and now when we recapture, it's with a threat and a beautiful bishop, and white's just better. We're going to play pawn to d4, so he continues keeping the queen close to me, letting me attack it if I want it. Fine. I'm going to play d4, control the center. Okay, he plays d6, opening one bishop, blocking another bishop. If I push and he takes, I can take. And if he takes, I can take, because the pawn is pinned. So because he's so undeveloped because of all the queen moves, we now have the opportunity to make moves like this, d5, early in the center, before we move our queenside stuff. Because his king is here, he hasn't moved his pieces, and this rook is very strong right now. So he develops a piece and pins a knight, threatening to ruin our pawn structure at the cost of his bishop. We could take this and open up some lines. That looks very strong. So let's do that. We now have all these pieces beaming. They're so strong. So he takes our knight. We don't have to take back though. We have a double check opportunity. And e7 is a hilarious move, but double check. So now he has to move the king. So he loses castling rights. We win a pawn. His king is on the weak light squares. We can take his bishop now, because I don't see any cool checks. So let's take the bishop, opening the diagonal for our dark square, and we're the only ones with dark square. The position is totally open, so even though he ruins our pawn structure, our bishop is going to be that much stronger on the open board, so pawn structure will matter less, relatively. So he moves the rook and threatens a trade. Okay, I need to get my bishop out of the way so my rooks can be connected. What else do I need to do? I need to go rook b1, bishop a3, or maybe bishop e3. And just cut off his nonsense. Interesting. I could take it since his rooks aren't connected. And what does he take back with? That's a weird question. So maybe I'd do that. Let's take that since his rooks aren't connected. He has to bring one piece to a worse square. So now that he brought the knight that undefends this square, this gives us new opportunities to coordinate. So we have this check. I'm not sure what it does other than blast this pawn. Maybe. We're already up a pawn. 3-on-2 over here. So if we traded everything king down to king and pawn, we'll win, even with this messed up pawn structure. So we should keep that in mind, right? Because you could force the queen trade right now. But you do have weak pawns, so I said if you could trade everything. Are you going to be able to force the bishop trade and whatever? That's a different story. But I have the bishop pair right now. I think I just want to develop my bishop somewhere. But where? Which diagonal? Which diagonal is better? I guess. Maybe you can do this. Okay, let's just keep them side by side. They'll pressure the queen side like crazy. We'll see what he does. Okay, he develops the bishop, which does hang the pawn. I mean, yeah, it hangs the pawn. Rook over, bishop back. I mean, I guess I'll take it. Now I have 2 pawns. Now his definitely obviously aren't going anywhere, right? So if I can trade everything, I will. So he attacks my bishop. I was planning on countering him somehow. Maybe I counter the knight just to get the turn back so he can't infiltrate. Otherwise, I can go back here. But I'm going to attack the knight. This leaves open the queen trade. It hits his knight. He can still infiltrate, but then I'll trade maybe another piece. He'll go back. So he moves the knight forward. Maybe it's looking here at my weaknesses. That makes some sense. I guess it's fine to just get rid of his rook, neutralize the pressure. I'll let him win back my c2 pawn at some point. I'll just leave the defense and go into his territory, and I'll hang. I mean, the whole queen side will be hanging at that point, but I suppose if I could reroute my bishop to d3, that would be nice. Although, it doesn't seem very practical at the moment. I could play g3 and just fianchetto. Or g3 and I don't know. We need our queen active. So here, problem is I'm going to have back rank issues, so I need to make room for my king. This pawn is hanging. So he goes here. I guess it hits a pawn. It hits this pawn a little bit. So if I take this, he takes this. I could go here. I mentioned this earlier. He can't kick me or do anything about it. It protects everything. He can't push this pawn. I could also take this at any moment. But yeah, these bishops, they cover a lot of squares. So he goes forward. I mean, it hits the queen, but I don't see what else it does. I mean, he could come to my king, but I could also coordinate on his king. Problem is, I have back rank. So like, if I move my queen up, and he takes this, well, this comes with check. And I have g7. So I guess I can do this. Okay, so let's leave our queen side and back rank undefended. It looks risky, but this comes with check, and this is the triangle. It's coordinating. So we have a dark square bishop and he doesn't, and so that's causing problems. And his knight's kind of in la la land. So he takes the pawn, we give the check. He's threatening mate in 1, keep that in mind. We give this other check. I'm not sure he's seen this because this looks very bad for a black king. I guess he could go here, but he goes to the side and this looks deadly. So how can we end the game? Bishop here, he takes with the knight. I mean, g4 is funny because it makes space for our king with tempo. It's a pawn sack because he can take, but you don't have to worry about checkmate threats, and you can try to get him from there. What opportunities does that bring? Well, we still have this check, which is interesting. Even before that. Maybe we could mess around with some checks first, see what he does. Poke around and see. And then always we can go back to making space for our king somehow. He blocks with the bishop, but now g4, the bishop's pinned. He has to take with the king. And that looks way worse because he's coming into our territory. And it makes space for the king, so I like it. So let's go g4. And it's a really cool move because it's a pawn sack. And so a lot of people intuitively won't even look at this move because it hangs a pawn. But so what? So we have this, this, this. It's interesting. But we should have other stuff too. We only have 2 minutes, but I have faith. h3. Another cool pawn sack. If he takes it, that's mate. If he doesn't take it, he's going... Where's he going? There's also other moves. There's so many moves. There's this check. But then he can go back, I guess. But then there's so many things you can calculate. But let's say we don't have any time. So let's try to calculate only like 1 or 2 lines. Here he goes back. That looks good for us. Here he goes here. The check in the back. Yeah, this looks good. I'm gonna go for a double pawn sack. This is checkmate if he takes. So he has to avoid. He can only avoid with these two. And I mean 3. Oh. And he made our life easy, so. You see? You can give up pawns because they lead to checkmate. Interesting. So let's go through this game. Yowzers, what's this moment? +5. Okay, so I have one blunder. We'll get to it. One blunder. So we have a Scandinavian where you take the pawn. We develop. He gives a check. It's no good. We just develop for free. Develop and center. Castle, king, safety, and development. Improve a piece with deadly threats, x-rays. And just so you know, it's already +1.5. So white's already much clearly better, which should be kind of obvious. So force move and for free. So center, development. And now here I went for d5, which is normally what you would do. But they're saying you just have a +5 win with the rook up, which I didn't even look at because I really only looked at one move. But does this trap his queen? I guess it does. He goes here, and then where do you go? No. Oh, rook g5. Then he has to go here, and then you have discoveries. Is that the case? So we bring the rook in. He has to go back. And now we have rook g5 and knight b5. If we go rook g5, he goes over. And then we just discover him some more. And his queen is trapped. Okay. So there was some queen trap that I didn't even look into. I didn't even consider, oh, is the queen trapped? I just went for kind of like a move that's not nearly as good because you don't win a queen. And so it's a huge blunder. You're still +1.4, but this move is +5. Okay. Also, the computer suggests some fun stuff here. Knight d5, knight e4, g4. What are these moves? Okay, so we play our giant blunder, missing the queen trap. Fair enough. Okay. So now that we got past our only blunder of the game, which is missing a winning opportunity as opposed to collapsing your own position, right? Two different types of blunders. So anyway, let's continue. Now it's +2. So it's just a white is better all the way through. We just missed a win. So we take the material to open up free lines. Intermezzo, forcing move for free. Winning free stuff, +3. He takes, force move. Now here you probably have options, but to simplify and to make his pieces worse, we trade. +3.4. Now we just develop and center. We take free stuff, +4. Force move. And now here I mentioned the pawn was hanging, you can take it, but I wanted to simplify, so I went for the rook trade. He takes, we take, still +3. So white's totally in control. I get it looks a little bit weird with these pawns and he can attack them kind of easily, but these bishops, you should see, they're kind of annoying, kind of doing a lot of work, covering a lot of squares. I guess with experience you get the feel for this type of thing. And now we just defend, right? So we can say it's some type of forcing move. He was attacking a pawn, we chose to defend it. Now he's attacking our queen, and we choose to leave this, and it's +5. So his knight was defending his king side when it was back there, but now he's moving it in the wrong spot. And then it goes from +5 for white to mate in 5 the second he does this. So you can see how I made the right judgment that this pawn, it was okay to let him take it, that he wasn't in time because we have checks. So we take with check, we take with check. Oh, and I missed a faster mate. Did I? This queen check, and if he goes back here, this queen check is probably, okay, so it's probably faster this way, but whatever. This is still mate, force mate, force mate, force mate. And these are really cool moves. G4, like this is all, you know, engine approved at the end, all my weird sacks and stuff. G4 check is the second best move after bishop b8 check. So our pawn sack was good. He takes it. And again, h3, second best, another pawn sack, second best move after queen e2 check, which I looked at, but I'm not sure, you know, with limited time on the clock, I couldn't calculate every single possible thing. So I went with what looked like to be a stronger move, h3. And he blundered, but I assumed he was going to go somewhere else, and then I would have to check him with my other bishops. So I knew he was toast, even though I didn't calculate the exact mate. But either way, we come out victorious. But this keeps happening. We miss wins in the opening, right? Because I'm just going through the moves, I'm explaining stuff, kind of casual. But this is like maybe the third or fourth time. We could have maybe won in the opening. Not a big deal though. Good luck in your chess. I'll see you in the next one.